Hey, and welcome back to VFX Tutors. As you know, I'm Josh, and in this sort of tutorial, it's going to be more of like a talk through of sort of planning your shot and sort of if you're doing your own stuff, some sort of very basic level of organization that you kind of want to go through and do. So yeah, so I've actually finally got around to filming the stuff. So we're going to talk through the sort of planning and stuff I did. Well, I didn't have much time to film it, but we there was certainly quite a bit of prep that went into it. But yeah, and then I'll just talk about what we're going to go through. So yeah, if you've been enjoying this series so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more like this. So before I went out on the shoot, I prepared a storyboard. So I drew this one up so I can get a good idea of my shots. Yeah, not this one. I am nowhere near as good a drawer, but this is kind of an example of what you can do as a storyboard and how far you can push it, and even further. This is my storyboard, and don't judge, but I'm not the best drawer, so but for me it gets the point across, and you can see that I've kind of drawn up these boxes and planned out my shots, which is the most important part of the process, is to actually catalog what shots you need so the edit works, but also to understand the story a little bit better. Obviously this is very rough and quite nasty, but the reason why I'm showing this is because it can be rough and nasty. It doesn't have to be a polished piece of artwork. Like some films have pretty rough sort of storyboards. Some could be on post-it notes and stuff like that, and anything like that. So don't worry if you're not a great drawer. Like you can clearly see that I'm not a great drawer. So always give it a go if you can, and it will just improve your sort of filmmaking sort of skills, because then it will just allow you to sort of get something out of your mind's eye onto paper. And albeit it's not really great to understand, but if you read through the annotations and look through, you kind of get an idea of what's going on. It's mostly for like shot composition on how I want things to look. And that's probably one of the most important things about the shoot prep, because for myself, I can understand this quite easily. I know exactly what. Obviously, if I'm trying to give it to someone else, it might be a little bit more tricky, so you might have to spend more time. They'll probably not know what the hell this is. It kind of looks like a triangle pushing a pram, but I can see exactly what that is with my notes. But yeah, if you're giving it to someone else, you might want to spend a little bit more time refining it. But for me, this was mostly the most important thing for this was to keep a shot count catalog of what I need to make the edit work. So I can kind of see the story folding out in my head and sort of pre-planning the sort of shots. And you can see here that I've labeled them or given them a very simple sequence name or number. BO1, BO2. And it's just going to be the sequence order of the edit. And you can see basically this is actually, having this when you're out filming is actually massively important. It allows you to, because most people just go out and film stuff, right? And film it, and you think you're getting everything, and you end up filming a lot of stuff. You end up probably overshooting, and probably a ton of that is not even going to get used. Whereas if you do this, it keeps a good itinerary of your shots that you need. So it's kind of a guideline for you to stick to and focus on the actual edit shots. And if you've got time, you can do extra ones. But this allows you to not go out and waste time. And it's really important of your sort of filming process. And I always do this. And even this is probably more detailed than I'll even go into. Well, you can see I started with a bit of detail on this first one, but it progressively gets really, really bad. But I can understand it. You might not be able to, but it was only mainly for me. This isn't blood. This is a red pen that's gone through from other notes and stuff. But yeah, this is really important to do. And you don't have to be an amazing artist, albeit like this is quite a lot clearer. And if you're giving it to someone else, they'll probably understand this very easy and stuff like that. But I'm not giving mine to anyone else. So it's kind of something to keep in mind when you're going out doing your projects. But the most important thing to take away from this is that don't worry if you're not a great drawer. It doesn't matter. Obviously, it's a skill that you can make, improve on. But you can see that mine is very limited to shapes and stick figures and very poor drawing scribbles with biros. So even if you think you're not a great drawer, still go out and try a storyboard, because it will save you so much time and wasted filming time as well. because you will just go out and you'll film stuff and you'll end up with loads of stuff that you don't want. Then you're like thinking, oh damn, I might have to do a reshoot. So you can kind of see on these, I've basically just done a box. I think I drew around like, I don't know, it's just like a box on my table. Then just put an annotation. You can see I put quite a bit of effort into this one actually. I put some back trees in the backdrop, not so much for the other ones. I just did that through all of them. Yeah, I'm not going to go on too much about this because this is part of the pre-planning and prep. This is probably the first thing that I would go through to get that sort of idea out of your head. And it allows you to understand what you're going to need for your shots as well. So with this planning, it also gives you the sort of the rough concepts of what you need. Obviously, this will be, we've made the character before because like COVID and stuff, I couldn't go out and film stuff. But we've got our rough storyboard and we've got our rough set idea, and we got an idea of the location. So you do like a location recce and see if these are possible, and possibly even do some previs as well on this as well. But for the sake of this project, it's going to be quite long. I'm going to count this into sort of my previs. We'll probably do post viz as well, which is basically sort of having a look at the shots when it's after it's been shot and doing the layout. But I probably won't do previs for this because it's already very long. But we can sort of join that into the sort of, because it's just a character we're adding in, and we're going to go out and shoot it. So yeah, I don't want to make this even longer because it's just going to add a massive amount of time. And if you want me to do like a sort of previous one, drop something in the comments. So if you don't want, we can do a shot that has a bit of previs in, but for this one we're going to kind of scurry past it and get into the shot work as much as possible. And this sort of like allows us to create the sort of data checklist. So we went out and recce'd it, found our little area, done our storyboard. So it's all based around this sort of it looks like a bus stop thing, but it's actually not. It's a sort of just a shelter of a seat. And he sat down, he notices the little bubble come through, and he's like, oh, what's that little bubble come through? Then he sort of looks over, has a little look over, see what's over there, has a reverse view of him looking over. Then on this one, it's this sort of POV looking over, and he sees nothing, there's nothing there. And he's like, what's that? I don't know. And the camera sort of dollies left or pans left. I haven't got an amazing amount of gear, so it'll probably just be a pan left on the tripod. So he's like here, and then it slowly pans left. And the Booble character is also looking down where he's looking. And he's like, oh, what are you looking at? Then he looks at him and smiles, and he's like, oh, it'll sort of play out, hopefully. And yeah, then it goes to another shot where they're sat next to each other. Another little POV view. And they're sat out, and he's like, because my drawing getting worse and worse, it's framed, and I've put more notes on the bits, so it's like encourages people to come on then, stands up and walks off, hops off bench and walks off together. Cam up to the sky I've put there, and you can see I've put like if you're doing a big cam remove, it'll be a big arrow or something, or a big annotation. So it'll be like a pan left and following them up. So it's not a super detailed thing, and this is probably going to be a very quick tutorial. I don't want to go on because I'm probably just nabbering on. But this is definitely a process that I'll definitely go through. So I'll definitely go through when you're doing a shot, just make sure you plan your film or advert, do your rough concepts, your rough storyboard, your location and set ideas, your location recce, see where there are places to film. And from all this, you can get your data checklist. So I can get everything from here because I'm doing it for myself. But if you're making it a little bit more detailed for someone else, you might want to. So I know for this, any of these sort of ones with boobling, they're all VFX shots. So I'll need probes, Macbeth chart. Probably won't need a HDRI for every single shot because it depends on what the weather's going to be like. But yeah, I'm going to stop going on. You've seen my awful storyboard, and we'll go on to the next one of probably we can probably ingest our footage, actually. Yeah, so we'll go through and we'll ingest our footage, and see you in the next one. Sorry, it's been very quick and probably not very. Hopefully, it's been informative. You've seen my rubbish drawings, but they've helped me quite a lot. But anyway, I'm going to stop going on. Hope you've been enjoying this tutorial series, and we'll continue doing them like this. And yeah, don't forget that like and subscribe. It really does help. And whenever you guys comment, it really does make me happy, and it's very nice to talk to you guys. So yeah, see you in the next one.